Oh, that's super annoying. If I go do not disturb, I don't even hear the fucking thing ring.
Oh. I wasn't aware it did that.
Well, because I usually don't go do not disturb, but I was like, you know what, I'm gonna do that so the thing doesn't fucking flip it in my ear the entire time.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, so when that happens, I don't even hear anything. It's just, oh, by the way, somebody's calling you, bro. Just letting you know, little tiny thing in the side corner. I'm like, oh shit.
There we go. Now we're in grid. Why did it default to focus?
Because fuck you?
Probably.
No, I need more Coke. No! I don't want to get up. Actually, no, I won't. I want more Coke, goddammit. I need more cocaine!
Jesus.
Hello and welcome to yet another exciting episode of the Super Happy Fun Jabbertron Tea Party Podcast with Kiki and Cupcake. We are finally moving into cold weather, and it's time for sweaters. Stay warm and enjoy the show.
I have refilled my glass with Coca-Cola.
Too hot still.
Oh, too much. Whew, okay. Okay.
Okay. Hi.
Greetings, Hillman. Pop it out. And there we go.
So how's Cupcake?
I am classified as human.
I should really stop chewing my lip. It's just the two of us this time, so we'll see how it goes.
Right, because Mish is traveling right now.
Mm-hmm. She
Probably somewhere.
Airplane.
A-woo! A-woo! Alright.
Wait, what? I think my brain just exploded.
Did it?
It certainly hurts. Non-binary Romeo and Juliet set in Nazi Germany apologizes for omitting Jews from casting call. The Icarus Theater production shows the hero as being a member of the Hitler Youth.
There's like so many levels to that I'm not sure like if it was like a legitimate oversight on their part that they weren't like I don't know if they're saying like we're sorry we didn't seek out Jewish actors, or if they're like, hey, I know we meant well, but we're anti-Semite.
Yeah.
It's their fault. That's a Neo-Front joke. They always put their or them in three semicolons. Not semicolons. What do you call that? Like the little wavy bracket.
No.
What's up?
What is the wavy bracket called?
You know what I'm talking about? It's like the whoop, whoop, whoop.
Yeah. Let's just call it wavy bracket.
I just call it the wavy bracket. It has a name. I don't know what it is, but Spaghetti from our server got me into that joke about like the neo-Nazi front with the it's their fault. I'm like, oh my god. The weirdest fucking dog whistles.
Yeah. Texas Republican writes sequel to Diary of Anne Frank where she finds Jesus in a Nazi camp.
Except that she didn't? I mean...
She converts to Christianity at Auschwitz.
But she...
I don't know how to say this.
But she didn't in reality.
Right.
Right? Or, like...
No, she didn't.
Why are...
Johnny Tega is a Texas Republican who's an idiot.
I'm just like... I'm done with humanity. Like, I can't... I can't anymore. It's... Okay.
Yep.
All I'm seeing in my head right now is the spine from Steam Powered Giraffe going, I'm gonna get all the candy corn! Walk out the door, walk back in. I probably should put pants on first. Also, we have like 4 10-pound bags of like the Child's Play Tootsie Roll mix. Because like my mom apparently didn't get any trick-or-treaters last night.
Yeah, I didn't get any either. We didn't buy a lot of candy, but now there's candy in the house, and I hate it because I want candy.
Candy. You could have my problem, is I keep saying to everybody, 2 dozen orange sugar cookies in the shape of pumpkins.
I'd love to have that problem.
Not me, I'm trying to lose weight.
Well, I'm trying to lose weight too, but that doesn't mean I don't enjoy things.
Cookies.
Yeah, I gotta make peanut butter cookies here today.
Ooh, kinky. They have chocolate in them?
No.
Damn. They're not really good. They're only really good if they have chocolate in them.
No, we make poor people peanut butter cookies.
What's the difference between regular and poor people? Like the addition of chocolate chips?
Yeah, the addition of stuff other than peanut butter. Ooh, I could break out the cookie cutters. Make dinosaurs.
You're making me self-conscious over here. I'm like, I've only eaten these peanut butter cookies and they've got chocolate in them. And you're like, alright, you bourgeoisie motherfucker. What the fuck is going on with my... You see that? My hair's like trying to climb up the fucking earband or headband.
It's a monster unto itself.
It is a... Dude, I need a haircut so bad. Saturday for sure, I need a haircut. Like, this shit's getting ridiculous. I don't know if you can see the back, but like it's coming down the back of my neck. I did, however, get a beard trim.
Oh, good.
You can tell by the fact that it's a little patchy right now because I had them. I always have them cut it back on the sides because this gets like super bushy. I'm old, I know, I'm sorry. These are the things that interest old man Cupcake. In my day, we climbed mountains both ways to school in a raging blizzard.
I talk about the weather. I'm old.
Dude, Taz and I, 2 o'clock in the morning for me, like 7 a.m. for him, talking about the weather in Sweden versus the weather in Minnesota and like population density. I was like trying to explain to him that like, yes, it gets cold in Sweden, but not cold like it does in Minnesota. Like, people don't understand how cold continental winters are who live like on the seaboard of like the eastern seaboard of, or depending on who you ask, the western side of the Euro-Asian continent, or their quote-unquote East Europe, West Europe, however. I don't know how you want to look at it, but like he's on the coast of Sweden. I'm like, you have the maritime influence of the Gulf Stream, so like it's warmer there even when it's cold, it's warmer there than the middle of the North American continent. Like, yes, it's cold in Sweden. I'm not saying it isn't, but like, we drop below freezing for 4 to 6 months out of the year and stay there and don't come back. And there's a lot of people in warm states that are going like, I would die. I'm like, no, you just wear a lot of sweaters.
Yeah, all the sweaters. That's what I want to do.
I mean, as you can see, it's finally reached that point here where I've had to switch back over to a hoodie because it's starting to get chilly in the house during the day.
I have on long sleeves. They're light long sleeves, but...
Right. I mean, this is, cotton, but as you can see, I always have a white t-shirt on underneath just to keep all the weird bodily fluids from... But on the news, I actually finished an anime.
Yes,
I watched
you
Real
did.
Girl all the way through. 24 fuck episodes of romantic drama and comedy. It's the best way I can put it. And it's the current standard nerdy guy meets Gairu girl, fashionable, cool, kind of delinquent. Like, sleeps around, and then he finds out that she doesn't sleep around. That it's all a lie.
Is it a lie? She's telling.
Basically, she keeps dating boys, but she dumps them before it gets to that point because she's not in love with them.
So it's a rumor then.
Right. She's always going out with new boys, so they assume she must be like, tapping every male in the class. And it turns out that no, she's just like when they don't turn out to be deeper than a puddle, like she dumps them. And this dude that like is the weird outcast loner, like shows interest in her outside of her just being a pretty girl, and so she develops a relationship with him. Well, they mutually develop a relationship over time. It's not like an instantaneous like they're going out now they're like the best of best. It's like they slowly build a relationship over time of their interactions, of him constantly reinforcing that he's not a weird loner, he's just a dude that doesn't want to be beat up for the things he's into.
Yeah.
And it becomes the whole show is basically him slowly building a friend group over his senior year, basically, of high school. And they throw in drama, breakups, infidelity, etc., etc. And it all ends up being, taken care of over time, but it's the ending was really weird. I don't know if I should, I wouldn't spoil it directly, but they did, do you want me to spoil kind of the type of ending they went with?
Yeah, sure.
Everybody ends up together. Everybody that was shipped together in the story eventually ends up together in the end. Which I know is really lame, but they play that like, oh, it's been 5 years since they graduated high school and he's now doing this highfalutin he's a high-paid sales executive, and he met back up with the girl that was his first girlfriend in high school, and they're going back out together because they've reconnected as people, and I'm like, okay. But they do that type of thing with everybody. They go their separate ways, they get their education, they get their experience, they get their jobs, their lifestyles, etc. And then they all kind of come back together as people start getting married and having kids, and I don't want to give too much away if anybody ends up wanting to watch it, but the most tumultuous couple in the friends group ends up being the ones that are first to be married, first to have kids, first to have a stable family life. And it's you two were the stable ones. Not the ones that seemed like they had it all together. It's you guys, the ones that were fighting like cats and dogs. You're the ones that end up happily married with kids. Everything is working out. What?
Well, that's.
And then I started watching. Oh, sorry, what?
I said that sounds adorable.
Mm-hmm. It was really good. I actually really enjoyed it. It was 2 seasons, 24 episodes. I mean, if you like, it is legitimately it's a combination of comedy and like romantic drama. So it kind of shifts back and forth between those two stereotypes or archetypes. I enjoyed it for what it was. I enjoyed that they played the drama for laughs. Like, they would have a serious moment, but when it was all over and everything had, panned out, there would be comedy involved in. Okay, so like one of the things that comes up is there's some description of infidelity, but the infidelity ends up being miscommunication. So like there's this whole like for like a month everybody's like, oh, he cheated on her with blah blah blah, and then they meet the girl that they supposedly was cheating on, and she's like, he was just somebody nice to talk to. Me and my husband have been trying to conceive a child for months, and we're having no luck, and he was always willing to talk to me. You guys like have sex? No, I love my husband. Wait, what? Well, he told his wife that he'd been seeing you. Yeah, he has. He would take me out to dinner and like let me talk to him about my problems. So you guys didn't sleep together. Oh, we never even kissed. So you guys weren't having an affair. Oh, no, not at all. But he didn't deny. He's just such a nice guy. And they go to the guy and he's like, well, I just didn't want to argue with my wife. I just didn't think it was worthwhile. I mean, once her mind's set up, like once she's made her mind up, there's no point trying to change it. If she thinks I'm cheating on her, then I must be cheating on her. I'm not going to argue that point. I'm like, I'm gonna choke the shit out of you!
Some people would argue that's emotional cheating, and those people are wrong.
Emotional cheating? Is that a thing?
That is a thing.
I mean,
I'm not saying you can't emotionally cheat, because that means...
I mean, you can emotionally deprive people, but that's a... Relationships are give and take. Like, you have to communicate with each other these things. Otherwise, like...
Yeah. Emotional cheating is essentially doing things with other people that you should be doing with your partner, but to an extreme.
So basically knowing your partner in order to hang out with people you'd rather hang out with.
Mm-hmm. That means there's an issue in the relationship, obviously.
That argues the question of why are you still together if you don't like being around each other.
Because humans don't like to be alone. With exceptions.
No, I mean, I'm not arguing that, like, I'm a pretty bad loner, but even I don't like, I hang out, like, I developed this entire Discord friend group so that I don't spend my time staring into the abyss alone.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm not arguing that point at all. I'm just being like, if you don't like each other, you really shouldn't stay together. Like, if you like legitimately, like, I'm not saying this didn't happen thing, but like if you're together with somebody you like loathe each other, that I'm sorry, like in my opinion, that's time to either talk it out or break it off.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, one, people are afraid of being alone. And
right.
Two, Western culture puts so much emphasis on being in a relationship.
A relationship. Having a spouse and children and a white picket fence. I mean, what?
Even if you're not married, it still puts so much emphasis on the boyfriend-girlfriend or boyfriend-boyfriend or whatever. Just the relationship.
Right. How could you possibly ever want to spend the rest of your life alone? What kind of psycho... What? Why is everybody staring at me?
I mean, we do it to fucking babies. Oh, look, they're dating because they're playing together well.
Right. God forbid we build relationships that are not romantic.
Mm-hmm.
Which is my favorite thing. It's like, how can you have such a deep relationship with somebody who is, I gotta talk about, like, the camaraderie of my team. Like, the guys I work with. Like, they're like, why do you have this deep affection for these guys? They're just your workers. I'm like, they're my team! We work together! Like, it's not some weird, like, romantic thing. We're comrades. Like, we work together every day. Like, I want to be on good terms. I want to build rapport with the people I'm working with. Like, it's not that I want them to like me, but I want to be on good terms with them. If they like me, that's a fucking bonus. You know what I'm saying? Like, that they're willing to do things for me. If I say, guys, I need help with this, they're not like, oh, middle finger, fuck you.
I have 2 lady friends who fucking despise each other.
Oh, God.
But they had children around the same time. So clearly, their children are destined to be together, even though they fucking despise each other. They say those things. Because it's just what they're programmed to do.
Right. It's such a weird, like, mimetic concept of, like, well, if you have, if you have kids, your friend have kids, like, that they're gonna, like, it's the girl next door thing in anime, like, your best friend from childhood is gonna end up being your wife because you guys have been together forever, and that's all you know, and so that's what you end up with because that's what's comfortable and that's what you know. But, like, that's not how it always works. Yes, there is some, like, stereotypes exist because things happen, but, like, that's not a for sure. Like, you don't know what the future holds.
I mean, I never planned on meeting anybody and getting married or anything like that. I was a terrible girlfriend.
But I mean, that's the whole thing. It's like you and Mr. Keeks, Mish and her husband. Like when you hear, like, when I knew Mish when she was dating her husband. Like, before they were a steady, partnered relationship. But I knew them when they were in college, and I remember, like, the story of her husband being a fucking race car driving lawyer. I'm like, do you understand, like, how bizarrely, like, TV that sounds? The man was a race car driver who went to law school and became a lawyer, and then leveraged his understanding of automotive shit to become a powerful lawyer. Like, that's TV show, like, writing shit, not real life.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I just use that because it seemed like her relationship with her husband, it seemed like his background of, like, how they met, what happened, blah, blah, blah. Like, it's the most bizarrely, like, anime thing ever. Like, he's a race car driver turned lawyer. And they've been happily married for years with a dog, and, like, it's, like I'm saying, like, you don't know what the future holds. You don't know who you're going to meet, who you're going to be. Like, that's the person I want to spend the rest of my life with. You don't know if you're ever going to meet that person, or you're going to, like, you're going to run into somebody at random. Like, I talk about our friendships, like, our friendship relationships. Like, I met you through an IRC at random. I met Mish through a online game called Nation States from when I was in high school.
I remember Nation States.
Right. Like, my bestest friends have been people I met at random. I wasn't looking to have lasting, long-term interactions with people, but it just fucking happened. I mean, Sammy is the daughter of the guy that ran the forum that was, like, my safe space when I was in high school and early college. And the only reason we're even friends is he started a D&D campaign, basically, and, like, for her sake, for as far as I've ever been able to tell. And I got invited to play, and we started talking, and we, like, formed a friendship. And, like, I have this ability to be disarming, is the way I sense it. Like, because I talk about the fact that, like, all of my friends are married women. Or women in stable relationships, I should say. Like, I don't know if it's just because I'm like that dude who's not actively trying to bone the straight dude who's trying to bone every woman I meet, that like I can somehow build relationships with the opposite sex that aren't romantic.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not trying to sound like highfalutin about myself, but like I was thinking about this. I'm like, all of you, like almost all of you that are my close friends are women in stable relationships. I have very few male friends. I don't know if that's just because like I'm not like, rah sports, rah motorcycles, rah like cars, like I mean like I have multiple more people than I can count that are coming out of the LGBTQ plus pool.
Mm-hmm.
Which is weird because like I know I keep making the joke, but like I'm the token straight white middle class dude in a group of rainbow warriors.
But in all realities, you're not really all that token because you're not like the actual middle class white dude. You have more civility, more passion, more. What am I looking for?
The willingness to look beyond the stereotype.
Yeah, you're not just seeing a walking pussy. You're seeing
Which is such a weird concept to me. Like, the whole idea of, like, dudes dating, like, as a straight guy looking at from the perspective of a straight guy who's trying to meet a woman kind of thing. Like the dudes who are like, oh, it's all, like women that are, all they exist to do is be a receptacle for their sexual frustrations.
Mm-hmm. A pump.
It's such a weird, it's such a weird concept to me that you would not want. Like, you're going to spend a long time, if not the rest of your life, with another person, and like your concept is like find the prettiest thing that you can fucking pump your bodily fluids into, and that's all you care about. Like, that you have no other interest. Like, what a boring fucking life. I mean, but I also like I'm not driven by that concept.
Yeah.
I mean, not that I don't dislike pretty girls, like that's not what I mean, but like that's not my ultimate goal, to be like the cutest girl that's a trophy. Like that's such a lame concept. It's like it's a video game checkbox. Oh, you got the S grade girl. Ooh, now what?
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's terribly, terribly misogynistic, but it's the honest to God truth. It's what I feel like I'm looking at half the time. It's like, you're, like as a straight dude, like, looking at, like, predators, it's like, guys dating women just as, like, the concept of, like, their sexual frustration. I don't know if that's even right. Like, what? Like, sexual conquest?
Conquest is probably a better word.
Right.
Because
I call it frustration just because it's like, all you're doing is, like, this person only exists to be the outlet for your sexual energy.
Right. But that's pretty much what we teach them to do, because
Right.
you're cooler if you've had a lot of sex, because we put this high emphasis on sex.
Well, they play a key that unlocks any lock versus a lock that unlocks for any key.
Mm-hmm.
Which is a horribly, horribly misogynistic statement.
Right. Yeah, you're just a swell guy. Compared to a lot of guys. I mean, I know a decent amount of guys. Most of my associates are male.
It's not like, I would say it's not like I'm an exception or anything. It's just like, it's bizarrely like the kind of man I aspire to be is a surprisingly rare occurrence.
Which is very sad.
I always tell the stories like, the way I was raised, it was the concept of, like, be a sword for justice. Which is a really weird thing to say, but, like, my dad instilled this ethos on me of, like, draw your sword for justice. When the weak need your help, when the downtrodden are being, are being persecuted, like, be that person. Draw your sword for justice. Which is like, burns through my entire mental being of, like, this whole concept of, like, I always ask the question, what is justice? And no one ever, like, I've had a couple people get real damn close, but no one's ever hit, like, first time meeting me ever hit right on, like, my own personal ethos of what is justice? So everybody always goes the very subjective, like, court of law, justice is punishing the evil.
But
which is not what I mean. Right.
Yeah. We should rehabilitate, reform. Punishing just leads them to doing more evil.
Right. But I mean that's high, like this isn't like some conspiracy theory. I'm just saying, like, it's like high level thinking to not just be like punish bad people.
Yeah.
Is to understand why do people do wrong? What, and more specifically, like, to me, the idea of justice is that those who need help are given it. Justice is seeing that those who are hurt are righted. And everybody's always like, that's so stupid, that's not justice. It's mercy. And, like, justice is making sure that we as a society take care of each other. That we watch out for each other, that we make sure that nobody suffers when we can do better as a people, as a group, as a society, as a nation, as a government. That, like, especially in the United States, like, we have the money, we have the means, nobody should ever have to suffer.
Right. But...
Right, I understand that's not reality, but I'm just saying, like,
the rich
it's within
build their coffers on suffering. Right.
No, I understand that reality versus ideology is not the same thing. It's just it hurts inside for me to to have to be like, we could be better, but we choose not to because money.
Money.
So I said, like, medical care should not be a for-profit concept. We should not be like, how much money can I soak people for? Education should not be, how much money can I soak people for?
I mean,
like,
sometimes it's neat to learn about new medications that you can try through ads, but we really shouldn't allow ads for pills.
Right.
The medicine should not be marketed towards us.
It should be marketed towards the prescribers.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I was talking about...
It's one thing to be educated about what you can get to help yourself, but that's not really what they're trying to do. They're trying to get you to get your doctor to give you a prescription for something you might not really need.
Also, I'd like to state for the record that I love that you posted today's crapshoot from Loading Ready Run.
It's funny!
It's the same thing that we all talk about. Like, there's no recorded case of somebody having their Halloween candy tampered with.
Right. Now they're...
Sorry, I didn't mean to be a non sequitur, but I was like, I watched that right before we started. I was just like, yes, of course, yes.
Yeah, now they're trying to make us afraid of rainbow fentanyl.
Okay, rainbow fentanyl is a thing. Yes.
I'm not saying it's not a thing. They're trying to make it us afraid of it.
No self-respecting drug dealer or courier is ever going to give it to children. It's too valuable.
Yeah. Like, here, have some free drugs, kids. I mean, I know they want to get us hooked on them, so we'll come back, but that's...
Right.
You're not thinking logically when it comes to an actual buy-sell plan.
Right.
Like, I wouldn't just randomly give it without saying what it is to kids for a lark.
And believe me, nobody's trying fentanyl as their first fucking experience with opiates. Like, fentanyl is hardcore shit.
Yeah.
But people are like, oh yeah, he died of a fentanyl overdose. I'm like, that guy had a serious drug problem.
Mm-hmm. And it is a shame they had to die. It is a tragedy.
Oh yeah, no, I don't wish death. I'm just saying, like, they're like, oh, he was hooked on fentanyl. I'm like, dude, fentanyl is a hardcore drug. Like, they were on a whole bunch of other shit before they got to fentanyl. Like, you don't OD on fentanyl, like, your first time out the gate.
Yeah. I mean, sadly, the longer you do drugs, the more you have to do them.
Right.
And that eventually usually leads to an overdose.
Right. Well, an overdose happens generally because you stopped using drugs and then gone back to the dose you were using before you stopped, and your body doesn't have the tolerance anymore.
Yeah.
Or you have a massive, like, miscalculation, which was,
it's a crying shame.
Chris Farley, oh god, I can't think of his name. The guy who played Joker in The Dark Knight,
Heath Ledger.
Like, oh god, I can't think of the other guy's name. There's like a whole bunch of actors where this is the thing, like, they miscalculated how strong the combination of drugs they were taking was, and OD'd. Not because they didn't understand what they were doing, but they didn't understand that the cumulative effect of the drug combination they were taking was going to stop their hearts.
Right.
It's always opiates because opiates slow your involuntary nervous system to the point that your heart stops beating. You stop breathing. Like, as a guy who is fairly well educated, like, I understand the concept and dangerousness of combining different, if not same family of drugs, but different families of drugs together, like stimulants and depressants. Antipsychotics, SSRIs, like anything that fucks with your brain chemistry is dangerous. And I mean that, like, in a wholesale sense of the word. Anything that fucks with your blood and brain chemistry should be treated with the greatest of respect, because it's very easy to die from very weird combinations of even prescription drugs. Like, we talk about people taking stuff for, like, a painkiller, a mood stabilizer, and a muscle relaxant. There's a cocktail they give, from personal experience. There's a cocktail they give people suffering from kidney stones, where if you get the mix of drugs wrong, your heart will stop. Because it's a muscle relaxer, what am I trying to say? Not a mood stabilizer. It's a depressant, but that's not what I mean by depressant. It's mood stabilizer is the generalized term. What I'm trying to think of is the word for it's. So it's the more specific word is it's an opiate painkiller, a muscle relaxer, and, like, basically a mood stabilizer, which, like, relaxes your brain so you're not freaking out. And the idea is that if you're relaxed, you relax the muscles in your abdomen, and it's easier to pass the stone. But the problem is that combination are all central nervous system depressants, and so if you have too much of any of them, your heart stops. You stop breathing automatically. So if you fall asleep, which is incredibly common if you're on that amount of depressants, like, oh shit. I've been on them twice, and both times I've been incredibly nervous about falling asleep. Mm-hmm. And I'm not like a hardcore drug user or anything. I'm just saying, like the urologist who prescribed it to me was like, do not take more than X. If you take more than X, there is a high chance you don't wake up. Like, we're doing this because you're passing a kidney stone the size of a golf ball.
And then there's my doctor who gives me muscle relaxers willy-nilly, like.
Mm-hmm.
I have told him that they do jack all. He's like, well, keep the prescription.
Right. Because they don't know what to do with you.
Yeah.
you're in that space where you've built up a tolerance to everything. They're like, well, we don't know what else to prescribe you.
I've stopped taking them in general because one, they don't work, and two, I was starting to take a lot just to do anything.
Feel anything.
Yeah.
Right.
I was like, well, this is starting to get dangerous.
Right. And that's the other thing I'm getting at is like it's very easy to get the like you're taking a lot of those and they give you something new to try, and it's a small dose, but the combination of the two things together, you have serious side effects, even fatal side effects. Not necessarily, but like it's a fucking thing. Like people talk about like, oh, he was taking all these illegal drugs and he died or they died. I'm like, dude, this shit happens with prescription drugs. Like the doctors aren't paying attention. Like the right combination of different drugs fucking kill you just as fast. Sometimes faster.
It can be difficult when you have multiple doctors.
Oh yeah.
Man, I take a lot of pills.
Dude, I know. I'm on all kinds of shit myself.
I mean...
Right? They should have done like the 3 times a day old fart thing yet. That's always fun. We've got one for the morning, one for the midday, one for the evening.
I did have a midday for a little while, and then they switched when I was taking it to help me sleep.
Right.
I don't think it helps me sleep, but I just take it at a different time now.
Right.
What was I gonna say? Oh, I took my hat off because it's hot. I don't think the AC is running right now.
Probably not.
It's supposed to rain, so probably won't run all day, which is good.
It's gonna be warm today. What are we at right now? Hang on. 64.
Hang on. We are at 59 right now.
Woo!
I mean, it is earlier in the day for me compared to you.
Right. Almost 2 o'clock for me. Almost.
Yeah. Oh, it says rain's expected at noon. Okay. So, I made you watch me play a horrible video game.
It's not a horrible, it's just...
Okay,
oh my god.
In a different context than usual. It's not a bad game. It's a little clunky, but I more meant it's horror. It was more like trying to gross you out than anything else.
Right.
Especially at the start where you take your sister's face off. Because you wish to be her. Although it turns out you might not have a sister in the first place.
Right.
Spoilers.
Okay, makes an obvious mistake that it's all in your head.
Yes, it's always all in your head. Now I have to find the next game to make you play with me.
Oh god.
Actually, I should probably get the new Stanley Parable. I haven't gotten it yet.
I know, I really should too.
I won't open Steam right now because it'll pop up in front of us. How much is it right now? Let's see. Steam Ultra Deluxe.
Rip it.
Okay.
Oh god. I
Oh,
drink
it's
too
only
much Coke.
$25.
There we go. Good job.
Hello.
Is your cat just like, ooh, warm seat?
Mm-hmm.
That.
There we go.
Zaza.
What you eating? Oh, wait. Am I losing internet?
Oh, maybe.
What was it? You like hella
Chicken.
broke up. Oh, chicken? Okay.
Same. Chicken. I got chicken strips for lunch because I was like at work for an hour.
Mmm. Poor Cupcake, always working.
I told him today, I was like, both of them. I'm like, this is why they gave me a $20,000 bonus at the end of the year. It's like I'm in to do returns, and I'm like, how's it going? Everything is shit. Here's what we're gonna do. Blah 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 blah. Okay, cool. Thank you.
Pour myself some more tea. Here we go, that's better.
Whoop whoop. More coffee.
Tea.
Nerd.
Yep. It's tea, darling. I only have one cuppa? Only 1 cup a day of coffee lately. So I had it earlier.
Right. I haven't had any coffee yet today. Mostly energy drink and Coke.
Mmm.
I bought like.
Oh no, not again. Oh.
The they not do.
Okay, what did you say?
I said the grocery store that I go to the deli for the chicken for
Yeah.
now has 2 liters of Diet Coke in the refrigerator section.
Oh.
It's like $1.50, and I'm just like, I could buy a can of Red Bull for $3, or I could buy a 2 liter of Coke for $1.50. Not saying it's healthy, but here I be.
Oh man. People are all going off on Twitter about the whole possible subscription service.
Oh no!
You know the check marks for verified accounts?
Yeah, verified. Yeah.
And what they want to do with them?
I don't know what they want to do with them. No, tell me.
They want to make you to have to pay a subscription fee for them.
Yeah.
Musk was saying $20 a month earlier, but now he's saying $8.
I mean, my general feeling with this whole thing is that he's just gonna fucking bomb their stock rating and end up having to eat crow.
I mean, I'm on 6 other social networks. It's not the worst thing in the world if Twitter goes down. Even though it's
Well, my big thing is if Twitter starts being like anti-adult entertainment, that's basically going to shoot themselves in the foot.
Yeah.
Same thing happened at Tumblr.
Mm-hmm.
But they'll do, they're like, well, we're not doing adult shit anymore. It's like, okay, moving on to the next.
I mean,
wait, where's everybody going? We were just here for the porn. Oh, shit.
I mean, Pillow Fort allows porn, so I dropped my phone.
Right.
You can probably go there. I think Mastodon allows porn too.
Probably.
And then, of course, there's Reddit. If you want to deal with that shit.
I honestly just stopped paying attention. I'm like, well, moving on to the next thing when they get rid of the, you know.
Mm-hmm. Hi, kitty. Where you at? There you are. Mm-mm. There, is this better?
Poor child being smothered with love.
That's my good boy.
He's like, alright, how the hell do I get out of here?
Ooh, you like that?
Oh, maybe not. Maybe just take the ropes in.
Mm-hmm. Hey, are you happy now? Probably not.
What's up?
I asked the cat if he was happy now, and I said he's probably not.
Oh, yeah. Definitely not. In other news, after I finished Real Girl, I moved on to the original run of Negima. And man, that really fucking relies on panty shots.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there's a running joke where when he sneezes, the magical force of his sneeze, like, blows apart the main girl's, like, clothing.
Oh,
And so initially it's just panty shots, but eventually, like, I think I'm on episode 3 or 4, like, it's translating into nudity because he's becoming more powerful. So, like, when he sneezes, like, her clothes just go poof. I'm like, yes. Early 2000s anime. When somebody sneezes and the girl's clothes just go puff.
Jeez. That would be hell. Oops.
What, that your teacher's a 10-year-old boy with unlimited magical powers, and when he sneezes, your uniform just explodes?
Yeah.
But it's always the same girl. Like there's 32 girls in his class, but he always gets the same one, the main one. It never happens where he hits one of the other girls and, like, you know, half their uniform blows up. My real question was just like, if that happens to the uniform, why is her skin not being pulled off too?
Oh, God.
Well, I mean, like, if you steal enough force to blow somebody's clothing off, like,
Yeah.
but no damage to the skin. Oh, but, you know, a wizard does it. Yes, I understand a wizard did it. I get that he's a wizard. What I'm asking is, how does his magic only affect textiles?
Did you see that the Supreme Court is leaning towards ending affirmative action?
Of course.
Because, racism was solved.
Yes, of course. I can't even look at it anymore because I know they're slowly dismantling all of the shit we've done in the last 50 or 60 years.
Yeah. I haven't done much beyond YouTube. And hubby and I have been watching Critical Role instead of, other content.
Right.
And the news is just saddening. I still fucking read it, but...
Right.
I guess we should probably stop.
Probably.
Hey, thanks for sort of talking at me.
Yeah, we did something. Something.
Load. Okay, bye.
Bye.
Thank you once again for listening to the super happy fun Jabbertron Tea Party podcast with Kiki and Cupcake. Did you enjoy the show? Email us your opinions or leave a comment below. Farewell, my fellow internet beings.